This video is brought to you by
Cool green clothing coming straight up out of that DMV. You know what it is. This that Baltimore designer right here. Come on now, come and show some love and show some support. Go online right now, coolgreenclothing.com, and make your purchase. Oh yeah, by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. Everything in this video is alleged because the case still open. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. When you jump off the porch and decide to play in them streets, it's a lot that comes with that, especially if you are outside on cruddy type of time. Robbing, taking people off, doing whatever so you and your peoples can eat. It's a paranoia that comes with doing that kind of dirt. Always worrying about the get back, looking over your shoulders, wondering who can you really trust, especially if your name rings bells. It's certain things that should come second nature if you are living that lifestyle. Never tell anybody your business or what you got going on outside. Definitely if it has anything to do with a body, because there's no statute of limitation on murder. And if you don't tell nobody what you did, nobody can go back and tell on you. Now, some people want it to be known if somebody gets hit, like, yeah, that was my work, to build up their reputation in the streets, proving they are willing to bang that gun. While that might sound like a good idea to keep the ops from running up on you or people playing with you, in reality, talking about what you did can come back to hunt you in a lot of different ways. You could have somebody peoples ready to retaliate, or you could put yourself in the trick bag, making you and your peoples hot. Now them boys on you. Usually when the streets talk, the outcome either goes one or two ways. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing the case of an off-duty D.C. police officer who lost his life. Now years later, a man already in the feds is being accused of the hit. Back in 2017, 40-year-old Tony Mason Jr. had made a good life for himself. A father of 4 kids, 2 girls, and 2 boys, the dedicated father also had made a good career being a Washington D.C. police officer. Tony had been on the force for a minute and worked his way all the way up to sergeant. Between working his kids, Tony also was dating and looking for love. You would think he would be on the D.C. dating scene because that's where the officer worked at. But instead of living in the district, the man decided to live in Baltimore and commute to work every day. On November 4th, 2017, Tony was with his girlfriend, sitting in the car, drinking, talking, and listening to music. They was just vibing. The area of the city they were in was a hot spot, the Elgin Townhomes in West Baltimore. It was on a late night tip after midnight. As the couple were enjoying themselves, a car pulled up with 3 men in it. One of them said, "Hey, yo." That's when Tony turned around to look. Multiple shots went off, hitting the car him and his girlfriend were in, before the men then fled the scene. Tony's date was hit, but nothing critical. She was able to contact BPD, who responded to the scene to find Tony suffering from multiple gunshot wounds and unfortunately pronounced gone on the scene. By the car was 16 shell casings from 2 caliber of guns. That night, Tony was in plain clothes, so at first, no one knew he was a police until speaking to his girlfriend, who was also shot in the leg but in stable condition. And she stated they were just enjoying the night when they were ambushed, but she didn't know why or by who. In that area at the time was a squad called the Slickest Ones, who hustled and had the area on lock. Allegedly at the time, the leader was an 18-year-old man named Deon Thompson, whose name was ringing bells for robbery and trapping around that way. But no one ever thought the squad would make their neighborhood that hot by hitting the police. Tony's family was devastated and didn't understand why he was targeted. BPD also had no leads on the case or suspects. Time would go past, and the case would go cold. But for Dion and his peoples, the block was still jamming. But now it was hot. Eventually, Dion and his peoples would get hit with a federal indictment for weapon and drug charges. He would be found guilty and sent to Jersey to serve his fed time. Last year in 2023, Tony's case was still cold. The once $10,000 reward for information had jumped up to $60,000. And now that Dion was off the streets, people were willing to tell what allegedly happened to Tony. Someone called BPD claiming they had information on a cold case. They stated the same day Tony was hit, Dion told them details only the shooter would know. They told police the young man back in 2017, then 18 years old, was hot, meaning he had robbed a lot of people and did a lot of dirt, which made him paranoid and extra cautious. That morning in November, while Tony and his girl was sitting in a whip, Dion allegedly peeped them. Since he wasn't in uniform, the informant stated Dion thought he was an op. Once Dion exited his friend's grandmother's house, he called his two guys, two other young men, and stated, "Yo, get the guns," telling them somebody was on the block trying to pull a move. That's when all three hopped in the car, pulled up on Tony, and ambushed him and his girl. The person then stated Dion called his brother that same day, like, "Check the news, dummy, I got one." But until he watched the news, he never knew Tony was an off-duty police. It seemed he hit an innocent man for nothing, all because he was paranoid with the dirt he was doing in the streets. The informant told police this caused Dion to stop coming around the way for a minute until everything died down. BPD had recently started a unit that focused only on cold cases, and they felt the informant had critical details that only someone who was dead or had first-hand knowledge would know, even telling them it was two shooters, and one of Dion's homies who was in the car with him that night passed away a few months after in a car crash. Dion's time with the feds was getting short, but now he had a bigger problem. He was scheduled for release in 2026, but now this year he was recently hit with a first-degree hit charge for Tony's case and is being extradited back to Baltimore to face charges 7 years after the incident. As of now, this case is new and hasn't made its way to trial yet, and Dion is innocent until proven otherwise. Rest in peace to Tony. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. I'm not sure if Dion was a part of the situation, because for reward money, some people will come up with a crazy story. Only thing I can think, he told somebody in the feds what they said he allegedly did, or a friend back in the day who decided now he out the way and I need the money. I'm gonna leave this one open for discussion though. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation in the comments. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace to Tony. Like I said, Dion is innocent until proven otherwise. A lot of times when cases go that long and cold cases, evidence get lost, witnesses don't want to talk, ain't nobody really know what happened. So they depending solely on one person who called them after years. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. This your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.